Okay, now what's behind the Vagabond Opera? Like, how did it all come to be, and really, where did the idea come from?
Well, I sang opera legitimately, whatever that means, in my 20s, and what I noticed, well, you know, it all started actually, I was with a friend and in New York State, and we were listening to the radio, and they were giving away tickets to a free concert of Ziggy Marley. And we were like, and we called. We're just like, we went to my aunt's house, and we're like, let's just call. And we got these free tickets. Hung out in the parking lot, you know, before the show, and like people were like listening to music. They were like, dude, listen to this. And like I kind of wanted to be like, dude, listen to this. Mozart, The Marriage of Figaro, and I actually did. But then seeing Ziggy Marley, I mean, Ziggy Marley's great. I don't think that I was inspired by him in any way, but just that combination, I was like, wow, what would it be like to have an ensemble where we're featuring the voice, but instead of it being sort of stuffy or at least going to a certain demographic, what if we had like my peers? That's where the idea came from. And then I can say more if you want about like its evolution, but that's where the idea came from.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Now, how do you find how people take to your music? Like that upstairs, I did not foresee that.
Oh, really?
Now, do you come across it every town you play where everybody's dancing along and just gets right into it?
That show is different than any other show, and every show is different. Sometimes we play at performing arts centers where interesting demographic is people that would go to an opera, and that's fine. I'm 38 now, so so I have more sympathy. You know, so what we try to do as best as we can is kind of read the energy of the audience, meet them halfway, have this exchange with them, this dynamic exchange. So I saw that these people were ready to have an old Eastern European type hoedown and jump around and dance like fools, just like us. So I read that, and I kind of riffed off of that. Another crowd would be completely different. So it's not what we expect, but just kind of what the energy is like when we go out there.
Oh, so you're able to play your set list accordingly to what you read off the audience?
Yeah, I had no set list tonight. Actually, I did have a set list, and then we got here, and I was like, screw it. Let's just play what we want to play. So, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed it was pretty cool how you added Whiskey Bar into the mix.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that covered in a long time.
Yeah, no, we love that song. We love the old stuff. That's an old Kurt Weill song. A lot of people think the Doors did it, but they did, but they didn't do it first. It's an old song from the early 1900s. Kurt Weill, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now, how has your tour in Canada been so far?
I love Canada. Is that going to be too loud? Or okay. I love Canada. I've toured Canada before. I was the musical director for a group that performs at the Fringe Festival. It's called the Pajama Men. And first of all, my father's side of the family is Belgian, so I just appreciate French. even like the signs are in a couple languages. In parts of Canada they speak more than else. And I mean, honestly, in the United States, listening to the radio when we're in the van here, the coverage of political issues is more nuanced and, dare I say it, intelligent than in the United States. I mean, let's face it, you guys are smarter. So it's nice to be here and learn.
What are you in tour supporting? Are you supporting a new album, or are you just out touring?
Yeah, we came out with a new album, and we love this one. Our cellist actually produced it, and it's like a film. If you close your eyes, you see a whole film, a movie unfolding before you, and so this is in support of that album.
Okay, so, what's the album's name for people who don't already know?
It's called The Zeitgeist Beckons, and the reason we call it that, zeitgeist is like the spirit of the times, and we felt like, it's time for this kind of music again, or now it's time for this kind of music, something different. The zeitgeist, the times, the ghost of the times, so that's what it's called. Yeah.
Now, does the album follow a story? Is it kind of a storytelling album, or does each song just stand by itself?
I would say it follows a narrative. Now, there's a story we kind of made up for fun with tongue-in-cheek, but I would say there's a narrative feeling, and you'll get that if you listen to it in order. Most people probably just put it on their iPod and put it in the random, but if you listen to it in order, you will get the feeling of a narrative.
Now, did your previous albums follow that? Or is this kind of a new concept you took upon?
This has been an evolution. I think it's just the learning process as we've gone on. I think our last album, while it was a good album, it was more of sort of a record of where we are right now and the songs we're doing. This instead, like I said, has a dramatic arc to it, so it's new.
Now, how difficult was the recording? So I realize you have many different instruments. Now, was it difficult to bring the time in, and then your vocals are just outstanding?
Oh, thank you.
Now, how did you record that?
That part isn't difficult at all. You have an experienced engineer, and they, take care of it. We had a great engineer named Dean, spacing his last name, but we have a great engineer. The hard part is, when we do these songs, we do them live in front of an audience, and there's so much energy. To be, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon in a studio. There's no window. You don't see outside. You don't see any other people. That's the hard part, and that's where you have to kind of go inward and draw on your resources there and yet a new world. That's the hard part, not the recording itself, not the hardware and singing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nick, I can't believe how well your vocals sound live. Well, that's what brought me to your show tonight, really, was I listened to your songs off this album, and then I really wanted to hear what you sounded live, and I can't compare the two. They're both outstanding.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah. Well, that's we're all trained musicians, and I'm a trained opera singer, and I hold on to that training and do whatever the hell I want with it.
Now, how long did you spend on your training, or is it like an ongoing?
I'm probably supposed to say it's ongoing, but I spent 8 years studying, and now it's kind of like yoga. I do it every day for 20 minutes or so, and the only opera I feel like I've trained for. I mean, of course you always learn and grow, but there's other kinds of singing that are more interesting to me that I kind of reference sometimes, some Eastern European kinds of singing. So it's always an ongoing learning process. Opera itself, I feel like that was a learned skill. It took me 8 years or so.
Now, going back to your European, do you plan on moving towards that? Like, kind of playing more European dates, or moving just to Europe? Or do you feel your music may be more accepted in Europe than it would be in the States or Canada?
Okay, I do, and we just had a meeting about that, how we want to access other markets in Canada, actually, because Canada actually is very receptive. You get treated, musicians always say this, and it's true, unfortunately, you get treated better in Canada and in Europe than in the U.S. Just in terms of accommodations, pay, food, and I think there's more of a market for us in Europe. I'm not gonna move there. I love Portland. My family's there, my wife and my son, and it's a lovely city. It's a great city for music. Move from Portland, but go to Europe for sure. We already have a little bit, but more's in the future for us.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, do you find it difficult to tour with a wide variety of people?
Oh, the album? I don't think of the future too much because you never know what's going to happen. It's a cliche, but really just doing this in the present is a real gift. Where's the album going to go? Where's it going to take us? I don't know. I hope it just increases the musical biodiversity that's in the world. I hope, if that, it's just another drop of that in the bucket. Beyond that, maybe someone will listen to it and bring us over somewhere else to play. It's really about making connection with people, too. So, I hope some kid in the Midwest or something, United States, listens to it and is like, well, what the hell is this? Oh, my God, I got to find out more. That's more what I'm interested in, is it being a door to discovery. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.